the chemical properties of water. The chemical properties of water here, the water reacts with large number of the substance. Some important reactions we are going to discuss here. That is one is amphoteric nature, redox reaction involving water, hydrolysis reactions and hydrate formation. First, we will discuss the amphoteric nature. See, the water, it has the ability to act as a acid as well as base. That is the water. Um, uh, it behaves as a amphoteric substance. That in the Bronsted sense, it acts as an acid with ammonia and base with, that is with base and with hydrogen sulfide. Look at this. Water react with ammonia to form OH hydroxide ion and the ammonium ion. Then the water react with hydrogen sulfide, uh, gives hydronium ion and the hydrogen sulfide ion. Okay. Then autopyrolysis of water gives the reaction, that is the self ionization. Autopyrolysis means that is self ionization. This one water molecule and this one water molecule, this water molecule is called as a acid one and this water molecule called as a base one, because water contains acid and base because of H plus and the OH minus ions are present. That's why the water, this having acid one and this having the base 2, it gives hydronium ion, that is the acid 2, and the hydroxide ion gives a base 1. Okay, so this is the this is called autopyrolysis of water, that is called self ionization. Then next is a redox reaction involving water. The redox reaction involving water is the waters can easily reduced to dihydrogen by highly electropositive metal. Here the highly electropositive metal is sodium here. So water, when water react with sodium to form sodium hydroxide and the hydrogen gas, hydrogen gas is evolved. Then it is one of the great source of the dihydrogen. So water is, when water is oxidized to that is oxygen during the photosynthesis. So this is the photosynthesis. The carbon dioxide react with water molecule. There is 6 moles of carbon dioxide react with 12 moles of water. It undergoes, that is the photosynthesis reaction to form glucose and water and the oxygen gas. Okay. See, that is water is oxidized to oxygen. Then water react with fluorine, it gives oxidized to gives oxygen. Look at this reaction. The 2 moles of fluorine molecule react with 2 moles of the water molecule gives 4H plus, and this is acid, and 4 fluoride ion, 4 moles of fluoride ion and the oxygen gas. So this is the redox reaction involving water. Next is hydrolysis of reaction. The hydrolysis reaction in water. So due to the high dielectric constant, it has a very strong hydrating tendency. So it dissolves many ionic compounds. However, certain covalent and some ionic compounds are hydrolyzed in water. Phosphorus pentoxide. This is the dimer form of the phosphorus pentoxide. So P4H10 react with water molecule, 6 moles of water. It gives phosphoric acid, H3PO4. Then react with the silicon tetrachloride water to give silicon dioxide and 4 moles of HCl. Then react with N3 minus, nitrogen 3 minus in ionic form, react with water molecule to produce ammonia and hydroxide ion. So this is the hydrolysis reactions of water. Then the last one is hydrates formation. The hydrate formation is uh, from aqueous solution, many salt can be crystallized as hydrated salt. So such an association of water is different type, like coordination of water, industrial water, hydrogen bonded water. The first example is the coordination of water is coordinated water is Cr H2O 6 times 3 plus and 3Cl minus. This is coordinated water. The hydrates formation because of water is involving here. Then interstitial water. The interstitial water is example barium chloride dihydrate BaCl2 dihydrate. Then the hydrogen bonded water is example Cu H2O 4 times plus 2 plus and SO4 2 minus dot H2O. This is the copper sulfate pentahydrate form. That's see, the copper sulfate pentahydrate formula is CuSO4 dot 5H2O. Here number of water molecules 5. Here look at Cu is here, SO4 is here, water molecule 4 plus 1 5. So this is the compound of copper sulfate pentahydrate. Next is a hard and soft water. Hard and the soft water. The rainwater is almost pure. So they contains some dissolved gases from the atmosphere. That is why they are pure. So being a good solvent also, when it flows on the surface, the rainwater flows on the surface of air, it dissolves many salts. That is the presence of calcium and magnesium salt in the form of the hydrogen carbonates, chloride and sulfate. So water makes that hard. So the hard water does not give lather with soap. Already you know that. Then water free from soluble salt of the calcium and magnesium is called soft water. See, it gives lather with soap easily. So when the hard water forms precipitate with soap or scum, the soap containing sodium stearate, this is the sodium stearate, reacts with the hard water to precipitate out calcium stearate or magnesium stearate. Here the reaction sodium stearate, the metal 2 plus, either you can use calcium or magnesium. It gives the precipitate form of the calcium stearate or the magnesium stearate. The M indicates calcium or magnesium. Then it is therefore unsuitable for laundry. It is harmful for boilers as well. So because of the deposit of salt in the form of scale, so this reduces the efficiency of the boiler. Okay. So the hardness of water is two types. One is the temporary hardness, another one is the permanent hardness. First we will discuss the temporary hardness. The temporary hardness is due to the presence of magnesium and the calcium hydrogen carbonates. So it can be removed using of the boiling method and the Clax method. So the boiling method, during the boiling, the soluble of magnesium hydrogen carbonate is converted into insoluble magnesium hydrogen hydroxide and the calcium carbonate. Okay, is changed to, that is the calcium hydrogen carbonate is changed to the calcium carbonate, insoluble. This is water soluble, this is water insoluble. Because of high solubility product of the magnesium hydroxide as compared to the magnesium carbonate. that magnesium hydroxide is precipitated. So these precipitate can be removed by filtration. Filter, this obtained will be the soft water. Okay, so this is the reaction. Magnesium hydrogen carbonate on heating gives magnesium hydroxide and carbon dioxide. Similarly, calcium hydrogen carbonate on heating gives calcium carbonate and water and carbon dioxide. This is water soluble and these two are water insoluble. Next is the Clax method. This one method, the second method is Clax method. So in this method, calculated amount of the lime is added to hot water. Okay, so it is precipitate out calcium carbonate and the magnesium hydroxide. Calcium carbonate and the magnesium hydroxide. So you can see the reaction. Calcium hydrogen carbonate react with calcium hydroxide gives calcium carbonate. Similarly, magnesium hydrogen carbonate react with the calcium hydroxide to give calcium carbonate and the magnesium hydroxide. So this is temporary hardness of water, boiling and the boiling method and the Clax method. Next is the permanent hardness of water. The permanent hardness of water is due to the presence of soluble salts of magnesium and the calcium in the form of chloride and sulfate in water. So the permanent hardness is not removed by boiling. Okay, it can be removed by the treatment with sodium carbonate, Kalgan's method, ion exchange method, synthetic resin method. So we will see here the first treatment with the sodium carbonate, that is the washing soda. When washing soda react with the soluble calcium and magnesium chloride and sulfate in hot water to form the insoluble carbonate. So like this is the insoluble carbonate. Here the metal magnesium or calcium can use. Then Kalgan's method. The Kalgan's method, the sodium hexametaphosphate. Okay, the commercially called Kalgans. So when added to the Kalgan is added to hot water, the reaction is like this. Na6P6O18 gives 2 Na plus and the Na4P6O18 2 minus. Then react with calcium and suppose calcium or magnesium. This M2 plus indicate calcium or magnesium. To give this react with this compound to give a complex. Okay, this complex keeps the magnesium 2 plus and the calcium 2 plus ion in the solution. So this complex. The next is the ion exchange method. So this method is also called zeolite or permitted process. The hydrated sodium aluminum silicate is zeolite, that is are permitted. For the sake of simplicity, the sodium aluminum silicate, the formula is NaAlSiO4. So this is sodium aluminum silicate. So we can write it the sodium aluminum silicate NaZ. Okay. See, when the sodium aluminum silicate added in hot water, the exchange reaction takes place like this. So NaZ plus M2 plus gives MZ2 gives 2 Na plus. Similarly, this MZ2 plus Z2 react with sodium chloride to give sodium silicate and the metal chloride. Here the metal is magnesium and the calcium. So here the zeolite is said to be exhaust when all the sodium, that is when all the sodium it is used up. So it is regenerate for the further use by the treating with an aqueous sodium chloride, you will get like this. Then the synthetic resin method. The hot water, that is nowadays the hot water is softened by using the synthetic cation exchangers. So this method is more efficient than the zeolite. That is the zeolite process. So cation exchange resins contain large organic molecules with SO3H groups are water insoluble. So ion exchange resins are usually that are SO3H. HC is changed to RNA. So treating with the sodium chloride, the resin exchange sodium ions and the calcium ion and the magnesium ions present in the hard water to make water the soft. So here the R is the resin anion. When the RNA gives, that is react with metal 2 plus gives R2 metal and sodium metal, that is sodium ion. The resin can be regenerated by adding the aqueous sodium chloride solution, pure demineralized, that is deionized water free from all soluble mineral salts obtained by the passing water successively through a cation exchange and the anion exchange resin. So 2RH M2 plus gives Mr2 plus 2H plus. In this exchange process, the H plus exchange for sodium ion, calcium ion, magnesium ion, that is another cation present in the water. So the process result in the proton release and thus make water is acidic. Okay, that is why after so in anion exchange process, this is the anion exchange process. The RNH2 react with water to gives RNH3OH. This RNH3OH react with the halogens to form RNH3 X plus OH minus. This is hydroxide. Here the hydroxide exchange exchanges for anions like chloride ion, hydrogen carbonate ion, sulfate ion, like this. So they are present in the water. The hydroxide ions thus liberated neutralized the H plus ions set free in the cation exchange. So H plus OH minus gives H2O. So this exhausted cation and anion exchange resin beds are regenerated by treatment with the dilute acid and alkali solutions respectively. Next class we will discuss the hydrogen peroxide. Thank you.